beautiful ether. I am making some head pins. I found an old torch. Well, it was on my shelf so I didn't really find it. But finally figured I'd see if it still worked. Doesn't really. However, it's produces a little more heat than the lighter, so I can make some head pins with the thicker gauge. The strike no longer works, so just gotta use a lighter to get it started. And as you can see, it's a really sloppy torch point. It's just very old. This actually came in a kit that I got from eBay, a beginner metalworking kit. Might need some more gas. The ball is not, has a little point on it. I have to switch hands, honestly. The flame is so uneven. I'm trying to figure out its sweet spot. I know the point. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let me get that buzz nice. Hope it doesn't drop. Oh, good enough. That's a big boy! It's a big bowl. I think that's one of the biggest ones yet. See? It's just scraps of copper, the same wire I've been using for the chain. So all the scraps that are too short to make another link or too long to throw in the scrap jar, just, oh, there seem to have been some fibers or glue at the end of this. It smells horrific. Just, not too bad, but definitely noticeable. And this is just copper, electrical wire. And I tell you what, these, see that red? That's the red I keep going on about. Maybe if I put white behind it. Oh yeah, hold on. I could zoom. It's gonna be awkward. See that red? Lay it on the paper. Not really. Well, sorry about that. It's a beautiful, like, pinkish red, and I'm very fond of it. You can get Renaissance wax to keep that color, as well as any patina color, or oxidation, I believe. Let me try to find that website real quick, please. Patina recipe. That's it. So, light to dark brown, you would use ferric nitrate and distilled water. And let's go to the blue. Blue-green, sodium thiosulfate, ferric nitrate, and distilled water to get a, let's see, like a cobalt blue. Let's find that one. Oh, purple, how about that? Sodium chloride, 5 parts. Ammonium hydroxide, 4 parts. Ammonium chloride, 5 parts. Glacial acetic acid, 4 parts. Distilled water, 32 parts. And you brush the surface with that. Blue, I know to get like a cobalt blue. It's pretty simple. You just use ammonia and my hair looks so flat. found this at a yard sale, and it's got a hood. Oops. I thought that was pretty useful. Flannels are perfect for yard work and any outdoor activity or rainy day. It rained all day, so I'm really out of it. I never stay awake. I should have laid a candle. Let's see it. I didn't refill it. Oops. There's no point on it. So kind of just trying to figure out. I have the window open and a fan on, but so none of this is coming towards me. I usually, if I might do this for a while, I wear a mask. Respirator. Do the thing. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? I do have one more microtorch laying around and I can't find it for the life of me. And I tried messing with little, there's not really settings on them. It's, oh, there you go. Hello, stranger. I'm making head pins. I've been making a ton of jewelry for getting back into vending here in South Florida. Got a lot of green markets and do quite a lot of beachcombing or shell collecting. So started finally. And all this is made with electrical wire. Just salvaged electrical wire from alleyways, people's garages, fire pits. So it makes really nice sturdy chain. And I make it all just with crappy little Walmart pliers. I've gotten like fancy versions of this, but if you have a Walmart near you, they're I think $8. I've been using the same pair for over 10 years. And just making these little links could make chain for just about any purpose. And I even have a globe hanging with a thicker version of the chain. And so it doesn't have to be used for jewelry. And a lot of these, just stuff that I find on the beach mixed in with some other salvaged. And all the chains are also salvaged vintage beads, as well as just any natural stone or handmade glass bead. And when I bring these to markets, I'm going to have all the charms laid out so people could just pick their own charms. I have a big old tray full of them. But I like streaming while I make them because it's such a readily available material, and a lot of the scraps I feel just gonna end up going to a landfill, and it's a great way to meet your neighbors to be like, hey, is there any tradesman that has some scrapped copper or scrap copper? Scrap copper wire and salvage shards. It's a really old ring I made, but it got squished, but I like it even more. The first copper rings they made were with plumber's pipe. But you can make a ton with it. Like, this brooch is a Bronze Age replica. I just went by Google Images and made it to the best of my ability. And it's just, how do you say? Copper. Copper from the fire pit. Found a bunch of copper in the fire pit. Thick stuff. Real nice. And, made a ton with it. You can also solder with it. Or like, solder, anyway. I really don't know the verbiage. I just really enjoy making stuff, and I just find, like, tools to use. But this thing, I knocked some stuff down. Soldering iron, Jesus. You could solder it with that and a micro torch, and it'll solder onto sterling, brass. Those are the metals I've experimented thus far, and just basic solder. Now this is lead-free solder, but I've done it with just regular solder that one would have like for repairs or installation. And you could coat it with it. So that's just the copper, but you can make any shape. It's really, it's a really good material to experiment with because it's kind of, now it's very expensive. Like, copper wire, like both at the craft store and if you want a roll of copper wire, it gets expensive. So I try to maintain only scraps, but I'm looking to source some more. I'm not sure. It's like, oh gosh, how much feet was it? It's 109 for the roll, but it has multiple strands in it. It's a little bit of a pain to strip it, but I do have a technique for that too. And disposable scalpels. I had to do this anyway. So, scalpels are pretty much X-Acto knives, but a little sharper, in my opinion, just like from experience. But they're plastic, so it's pretty dang easy for this to break. So never go towards you. Always like that way, and there's always a possibility of ricochet. Accidents happen, but if you just keep tension constant, and I just hold it, and I don't move the scalpel, I only move the wire, and I slowly, and the reason why I do this and I don't use a wire stripper, because the wire stripper actually dings the wire, and this is thin wire, so it's a little tedious, but it's definitely worth it. And it doesn't matter how gnarly this like wire, when you find it, is. On the inside, it's going to be pure, beautiful copper. Like, I kid you not, I could dig a piece out from the fire pit, just gnarly wire, but the most beautiful copper. And it's not dinged up. And you just continue that going down it. And it's, to me, it's easier even than a wire stripper or any little thing I've used to try to strip the wire. Messy. Where are you from? I'm from Florida, and very messy. This is definitely I think everyone needs a chaotic space to experiment in, and this is definitely that. I lovingly call this the creation station. Sometimes people think it's my bedroom. It's definitely not. um, mm. But I don't just make jewelry. I make quite a lot of stuff, and the last few years, Snappo and I started a project out here in the swamps, and I'm actually from Lake Worth. It's a small little coastal town, and like downtown Lake Worth, because Lake Worth is quite big here in Southeast Florida, and right on the beach. But the last 5 years, after moving in the swamps, had to, and of course, like the whole world shutting down, to avoid like mind rot, essentially. I really went full force and full time into handcrafts, and still on a mission of trying to learn just about any craft. So if you have any recommendations, I love to try, and especially like learning of new tools. I think I spend way more time in tool stores than I do craft stores. I don't know why. The craft stores near me aren't the best quality, so that is one reason. The stuff is just very like the beads are painted instead of there's not beads at hardware stores. It's just me, so I gotta start rambling a little bit, but that's okay. And I have a ton of these things now. I'm working on my stand now, and so I'm trying to make as much of this copper jewelry as I can with what I have left. And then I already have a ton of plants started, and so the idea is it's going to be kind of like, I'm going to have a coffee table in the center, and a sitting place, and plants all around, and then a rack of vintage, because I only have a tiny little table, and then the table's going to hold the stuff, and then the rack will be kind of like a backdrop. So I think aesthetically this is going to be a treat, and I like people can hang out. And and I'll also have a plant, just a cuttings bin for people to grab cuttings from. I have, for the last 5 years, really put every ounce of time, because, unfortunately I moved just far enough to where, like, my friends I haven't seen in, gosh, 5 years, and stuff like that, so use this time to learn a few new skills, and, like, handcrafts-wise anyway, and, working on some badges for KYNTO also. And, this must be really hard to listen to. KYNTO is an avatar chat. That's where all my pixel art goes. And, today, the quest is to make badges. So if there's anyone that plays any form of games and, like badges, like, need one that's to signify that, like, a user is alive, and perhaps one that's asleep, perhaps one for artists, because shot in the dark, if anybody makes any pixel art, always looking for, it's really a treat. The next stream is going to be pixel art, and you'll see how fast it goes into KYNTO, and any requests, because like, sometimes I really don't know what to work on, so that's kind of when I start making chain, and because I have a few projects going on, and they actually all really need people, and coming out of a few years of pretty much isolation, it's been quite a trip, honestly, but it's all coming, I think, at the perfect time, because I want to start having classes where people could just like maybe like half-hour classes, and anybody that has a random skill or technique for anything. It could be repair work, anything, and code, art, how to draw a cat, anything, how to make a poached egg, and there's that, and then also maybe a book club, which I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, because every time I delve into a new book, like, I know a lot of people that really enjoy discussing that, and sometimes it's hard for me to stay focused, because there isn't, like, a place to, like, this, it's so hard to put into words, like, more discussion places, like, the last week, all my comments and stuff have been removed from Instagram. Not sure why, or if anybody else is experiencing that, but now more than ever I'm really thankful for KYNTO just starting to get people on it now. We haven't promoted it at all, but because it's just Napo coding it, and it's his passion project, and it's for everyone. It's a live chat, avatar, world builder, and I think it's super nostalgic, and it's obviously super DIY, and any pixel art I make goes right in it, and you can use it as objects. And if anyone has any ideas or things they want in it, because I really want discussion groups, so like you're able to use your keyboard to text or to type, mics, your camera, you could play YouTube through it, so it's been fun, like meeting people in there just to like share music back and forth, and stuff like that. And of course, if you run into any bugs, please do feel free to message me, and because it is it's a very much DIY game. It's very live, it's always changing, and yeah, it's on Apple, Android, and web. So this hasn't been really promoted yet, because Snapbo is the sole programmer on it, and I don't know how to really say it. It's just like, it's like a painting that like the person just keeps going to add stuff and like look back at it and stuff like that, and like refine things. It's like, that's what it reminds me of, because I'm coming from the world of crafting, and actually wasn't the most technologically savvy before meeting Snapbo, and for instance, my phone was stolen once, and I went 5 years without one, and it was like the best 5 years of my life. And I mean, there's no cell service on the beaches that I prefer anyway, so I really didn't, it didn't bother me one bit. I really value the internet now. That sounds ridiculous, I know, but the tools we have at our fingertips right now are really quite brilliant. Ooh. And I think it's really easy to fall into, because, I mean, I think that's like the point, often is, like, to keep people engaged, but to also keep them stressed out, so it keeps them engaged. I had to take a huge step back from adjusting just about anything, really focusing on, I don't know, making like new things, because it's just, I don't know, the world's in a state right now, and I think our wits are something that's worth nurturing. And you can't be there for anybody if you're not there for yourself. And oh sorry, yeah, sorry. I got this these streams actually keep me sitting down in one place long enough to make these chains, but I do have, let me put this here so I don't actually see it. me show KYNTO. So, what in the demonic sound was that? Yeah. I think I heard that right. I haven't talked this much in quite a long time. Because I'm trying to stream every day because while working from home also because the winter really knocked me out completely. And living so far into the swamps, there isn't any physical places, really. And I mean, there's a Publix, there's a Walgreens, and everything else is like an hour away. And so been, you know, Etsy, all Facebook or Marketplace, all that, and but the stuff I've come to realize is, I don't know, I think it's the first time in a long time where people are able to show like the other side of the finished products, because that's what this channel this channel kind of is just turning into my a secondary mind, but it started off as kind of like crafts, and then my plan is to start editing videos a little better, but for some reason, what is it not doing? I just, I don't know, I decided I had to do it, because, it's just really expensive right now, and I was realizing, like, every single thing that I make and, like, grow, all the plants, I used to call it my stolen garden as a joke, because, ever since I was a kid, I had a container garden, immaculate little garden, just stuff from, like, getting ran over in alleyways, weird seeds, because if you start looking at the, like, different plants, they aren't just plants, and, there's so much variety, like, an intense amount of variety. I'm trying to find my favorite tree, but I can't find it's called the shaving brush tree, and the ones here, it's like this hot pink flower, it looks like something from space, and, oh wow. I deeply appreciate y'all. I'm I'm a hermit through and through, like super, super introvert, but, for some reason, like, I've always, I don't know. I always say I'm genuinely a people person, but, like, I rarely leave this desk. And, sometimes I would go out just to talk to strangers, see what their favorite songs were. Yeah, so please share any of your favorite songs. I really, really, really like the songs that you can't skip. All of my music, all my favorite songs is recommendations from other people. And, KYNTO, like, I could finally start making little listening parties. I could get, like, have a little DJ nights or something. And, because music is, like, I don't know, it's what accompanies me through everything. Music or, nothing at all. No, I listen to, like, TV like it's kind of like a radio. Because outside when I'm working, it's just me. And, like, I tap out too, but, like, usually when I'm doing, like, the nursery stuff, it's just me. And it gets really, really quiet. There's no cell service outside. And so, I'm really looking for music recommendations right now. Because I think I'm just going to go back to CDs my whole life. That's I mean, I still use my mom's record collection. I never really had a need for storing music, but between not being able to load anything out and about and that, I'm trying to make some mix CDs. And some new music would be really nice. because I do have the tendency to listen to the same stuff over and over again. Like, over and over again. I listen to the same song 18 times. But those are the songs that I'm looking for, because I know everyone has those songs. Pinback is the band that I always go back to. And a shame I don't think I'll ever be able to see him tour, but for some reason their sounds and their lyrics, just everything, it just like hits all the points that, yeah. It's raining outside and I'm wearing a flannel. I feel like I'm about to fall asleep at any second. It's so nice. Oh yeah. So I have a new controller. Yeah. So my controller has been broken for the last a long time. I didn't really, because I've been saying it's broken, but I also suck. So like. And it does sound like, you know, of course your controller's broken, but it is. I drop it 50 times a day, and especially in here. I moved it in here to have like something a little extra in here, so it wasn't so quiet. And yeah, it's. I don't know if it was a good idea necessarily, because this is where I kind of hide away to. Like, try to get, you know, no distractions, because the chain, I love this chain, but it is quite repetitious, so I try to get into, like, a state where I could, sit there for hours and like it, because it's very cathartic, and I do enjoy it, but getting started sometimes is a little bit, and, yeah, sometimes I will come in here to work, and then I realize, it's very distracting, but oh, that made me coffee. If anybody does play, I'm trying to assemble a team because I don't know. I like playing live games, but it's just so much funner to strategize with people, and that's why I kind of like. Decided to, if I was gonna get into any live game, make it Call of Duty because it's cross-console, and which I feel like greatly. So these are head pins just made out of. Oh, I forgot. It's broken. I have another micro torch. This electrical wire just scraps to make like charms or dangles, if you will. I haven't found the sweet spot. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So, I don't really show. It's like that nice red color. But if I wanted this to hang at the bottom of the necklace or a charm, instead of like trying to put a knot at the end of the wire, I could just have that. And I have, oh, I don't really want that on it. See it now. This is the part that, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. And I have a little tangle. Let me just wrap it. And hitting the copper with that torch makes it really easy to bend and really, really soft. And the more you bend it back, the more rigid it becomes. I believe it's called work hardening it. Same thing with hitting it with a hammer. Like if it gets too soft and you want it to harden back up, you could hit it with a hammer. My hands are very stained from mulberries. It is mulberry season and they'll be stained probably for a good another few weeks. But now it's I want a ton of these. And it's I mean it's so easy to come across this scrap. And I think the stuff is gorgeous. And especially being that electrical wire, found objects, stuff like that. You know, it's just the link, and it's a little bit of wire wrapping, but with that, like, minor skill and just round nose pliers, which you don't even need, but it does give you a nice round thing. Like, anybody would be so stoked to receive something. Like, here's a bracelet, just a shell from the beach. And every part of it is the copper, and that's one of the head pins too. If you don't put the copper directly into the water, after it gets red hot, it'll be black. So you could get like 2 colors that way. And you could just wipe it with some steel wool, and it'll be copper. So there's 3 colors. And usually you have to coat, or what is that word called? Buff, maybe? You have to use wax. This is stuff called Renaissance wax. I read that as being the best for this purpose. If you wanted to keep the color, to buff it with Renaissance wax. These, however, the red, hold up. And, like, this is one I made probably, God, a long time ago. Still bright, bright red. Now, I know when you do the patinas and stuff like that, those tend to change and disappear quite fast unless you put the wax on it. But for these head pins, you don't need the wax at all to maintain that color. And copper is a reactive metal. They call it a dirty metal, I believe. And so it is constantly changing. And it's really interesting because some people... We have different, like, acidity levels for skin. I am not going to try to describe it any further because I know I'm just going to get it wrong. But, for instance, like, when I was a kid, I saved up all my money to get my mom a little sterling silver necklace from Tiffany's. The day after, it was black. Pitch black. And that's because our skin is acidic or something like that. But, like, Sapo, I gave him my copper bracelet, and it, like, the copper was, like, white, like, really clean looking, like, very reactive. So it's kind of like a mood metal in my opinion. But if you, like, leave it on a salty window, you'll get the green, like, patina, but I love that. And, the other thing, too, is if it is left in water or what have you or something like that, the tarnish is totally reversible. Unlike the craft store wires that that I've used in the past, because you could just heat up some vinegar and salt, and I believe you make a pickle. And if you look up copper pickle, and don't microwave it in a microwave. I exploded a cup. I don't know what happened. I never looked it up. I also exploded a uranium glass citrus juicer somehow. And melted a pair of 1940s Ray-Bans. But anyway, not Ray-Bans. There's something else. Different brand. But anyway. thin ones, we'll say, can use these for a lot of different reasons or purposes. But the thin ones especially for those, I don't know if anybody out there makes flowers or wanted to make flowers, but they look really nice as the pistons, I keep making myself up. Anytime I gotta say something out loud, like I always overthink it, and that's one benefit I didn't think of when streaming, because I'll be honest, I read more than I speak, especially like it becomes self-apparent when I go to say a place, person or a place, or wait, how's that even pronounced? Because I haven't got there vocally yet. And that's another reason why I'm trying to get as many people on KYNTO to have discussion groups, because some of, like, the stuff I love reading about and digging is, stuff that it's hard to find people to want to discuss, especially openly, and I love debating. Like, even if I agree with you, like, I have a tendency to play devil's advocate just to find the common ground, and, I've always done that. It started when I was younger. I went to Catholic school, but in 5th grade, my mom let me start going to the Buddhist temple down the street, which was a Vajrayana temple, or Tibetan Buddhism, Vajrayana, right? And there were so many similarities, and from there, I would start going to the botanicas, and any denomination. I spent a weekend with my friend's family to celebrate Purim, and try to experience like every tradition, really. But I've never been able to find anybody who's like down like to do that kind of thing. So I just go by myself. And like I have a bunch of friends that go to the Buddhist temple, but fortunately now that temple's too far. Am I just not? There's just this little point, and it was going to be sharp. For some reason, it's not disappearing. And my finger hurts. Oh. Well, you can see it's black. Because I didn't put it in the water directly. So, turn this on. Did I refill it? I just need a new torch. Very stubborn about these things. This torch is long since broken, but it's still useful for like burning pages and ooh, bubble. I saw a bubble pop on that. I've never seen that before. Yeah, it's amusing how now it's starting back up. And that's another thing. It's so reactive. It's hard not to think of copper as being totally alive. And I think it's beautiful. But I don't know. There's a lot of living properties in just about everything. Let's see how big I can get it. Okay. And so I wish I could get like maybe I can. so nice. I'm gonna try to. My hand is here. Alright, I'm going to try to get this. And it's cool because you can feel the copper like sucking in on itself and moving. It kind of feels like when you when you're fishing and you can feel something biting on the line or your bait by feeling the line. Sloppy flame. I can't really see where. It's like bubbling. Trying to touch as much of the wire as possible so it's like nice and hot. The tip of this is not very strong. I'll try that again. Securely on. I think it's losing its desire to carry on. I just see it struggling, but it is using its Honeygas, which is pretty. It's pretty done. I just not want to be on Whoops. Well, there's a black one. Beautiful. Pinback is, whoa, there's so much more than I'm sorry. I think I'm just not seeing comments because I just noticed there was, for chat, it said top chat. And I just had all chat. shit, jaw rule. I don't know why I get so nervous talking about, like, diet. I'm currently not a vegetarian. I have been on, plant-based diets before. I, tend to lean more towards Ayurveda, and, like, the practitioner that I've dealt with, Sophie, she told me I base my diet around, really her advice, as well as just, like, anything I could read up on, and, but Ayurveda, is down to the individual, and it's more like a, I think preventative, more of like a lifestyle, like change, like a dietary, like, companion, and, again, based on the individual, and I really like that about that, and, because I feel like, here, well, in the U.S. here, it's, kind of like, they've tried a whole one-size-fits-all approach, which doesn't seem to be panning out, so, I don't know. My hair looks so weird. I try not to look at myself in the camera, because then I get thrown off. But I've wanted to make a YouTube channel, believe it, for a very long time, but I've talked myself out of it every single time. And, but really stoked. I don't know what to say other than thank you, but, I'm guessing just, like, I have my guitar broke a long time ago, and, it kind of put a dent in, like, my music making, and, I have an electric guitar, and, a bass, but neither I'm very fluent at, and, my acoustic is what I played every day, and my piano, but my piano, like, I found on the side of the road, and, I wasn't able to bring it moving, and, without that, I just haven't made any music, and, really trying to get on that right now, because the silence is deafening sometimes, and I have a tendency to ramble, quite extensively, but I really want to start with the internet. Like, I have this newborn love for, the internet, and, because, I don't know, in my area there's not a lot of like minds and, like, discussion, like, friendly circles or creator, like, you know, the internet is invaluable, and, can I play good? I'm self-taught, but I learn fast, and, I really enjoy playing, and, I like acoustic only because I can take it anywhere. It doesn't take electricity. Florida, the power goes out a lot, and I used to always be fine. And, but, I'm really trying to get a fire under my arse now. Snap is starting to make electronic music for KYNTO, and there's gonna be, like, a whole, kind of like a garage type of band thing in KYNTO, because one thing I've always wanted to do is make music with other people, but, oh god, I have stage fright in front of people. Like, I have the worst social anxiety, and that's what I'm trying to break out of, and, like, break whatever, I don't know, ego, or, I don't know, sometimes, I don't know if it's social anxiety or ego, but I want to break whatever is keeping me from, like, you know, singing, dancing, like, with people. People. And life is short, and regardless of personal beliefs, we live ones that we know of, like 100% certain, and, I guess, like, finally, being able to, think through the last few years, I realized, you know, good 5 years has just disappeared, and, people are very, separated now, and, I don't know. So this hermit, like, is just, throwing herself out there now. And, it hopes to, like, I don't know. There should be more communities out there. And, the censorship is just getting completely out of hand. There's a lot getting out of hand. That's just, really stressful to constantly be bombarded with. So, planning some snorkeling trips and stuff like that. And I'm working on a meetup post. There's an app called Meetup. I didn't know. And a bunch of local stuff was happening. I had no idea. And God, I really got myself. It's really hard to concentrate because I'm hearing like Walter's here, and so they're all up there. But I'm trying to get them on stream, but I'm not gonna pressure anybody. And but I can't help but romanticize streams because in the future this will be a snapshot of whatever this present moment is, and that's one reason why I regret not, like, just posting stuff online sooner. Like, ideas, thoughts. I do have a website called Tropical Botanica, and it's open for anybody to post anything they want. Dream diction, what is that called? Dream, diary. The easiest way right now is just to go, if there's anything that you want on the website, even if it's, like your links to do self-promotion, just send it to me on Instagram, and I'll copy and paste it onto the website, because I can't stress enough, I'm not the most technologically savvy, but I did the whole website myself with WordPress, so it's not, like, anything too special, but I'm really stoked about it. I need to get back on that full force. In between a bunch of projects, I'm like definitely spreading myself really thin right now. However, I've come to be really thankful for every moment. You would have, like, you would think that, like, I had a near-death experience in the last, like, 2 weeks. No, just all the time, like, came crushing down. I mean, a lot of time. 5 years is a lot of time. And it's just, I'm not getting a second word for me. Like, spent. I'll be at this desk, making cool stuff out of copper. And promoting Green Dean for free, because that website is so valuable to me, and his book just came out. It's my biggest dream to meet Green Dean, 100%. He's a forager and here in Florida, and he documents edible weeds. Just the weeds that usually are unwelcome in gardens or pop up in disturbed ground. A lot of that is edible, and a lot of that's going to be vital to know, in my opinion, because, like, purslane. I don't know if anybody remembers reading Henry David Thoreau's Walden, but at Walden Lake he was eating purslane. And I grew up eating purslane. Purslane grows everywhere, and it's such a delicious green. And you can't eat too much of it, but that's neither here nor there. Because oxalates, I believe, and kidney stones. But delicious. I really want to make more head pins, but I don't think this is going to do much. There's no flame. I mean, no, like, torch. So, I need to get some. I think I have to give up on head pins and continue on chain. I have a decent amount. I found this not too long ago. It's this really, really thin copper wire. I'm wondering what it was originally for. Probably tiny little electronics, I'm guessing. Really want to start, because I do solder, and using soldering these in a soldering iron, but I really want to test my hand at electronics. And I've made some like light up stuff, but I've never made anything with like electronics. And I found a Geiger counter set on Amazon, and I thought that would be really, really cool and useful, because I live very close to a like a really intense place to live by, I think. And no, I don't sleep well. I don't. When I sleep, I deploy like a visualization technique anyway, so I fall asleep like that. And I was gonna make a video on that because I used to have severe insomnia, and then I started using that time of sleeping, of falling asleep as a tool, and God, I've come up with so many good ideas from that like few minutes. And I also do this thing like memorizing 3 random words before you go to sleep. And when I remember to do it, because how many times do you guys sleep and think of a really good idea and don't remember it the next day? So I try to do a bunch of like mind exercises. It kind of sounds nuts. I was telling him to snap and he's like, oh, that's brilliant. And then when I talk about it here, I'm like, oh my god. But like 3 random words, and I made it easy by like choosing a random letter. And like the 3 random words I chose months ago, random words, I didn't put any thought into what words. They're just the first words that popped up. Barracks, barista, and bulimia. But the point is I remembered these 3 random words with 0 associations, and that twilight, like that, kind of really like, lucid feeling when you're falling asleep. When you start like, drifting, that's what the word I was looking for. And I fell asleep like that, and I was like, I don't know, realized that quite some time ago, and I've never deviated from that, and I fell asleep instantly. And it doesn't matter how wide awake I am, and but it's hard to put into words without sounding like I might like switch to streaming through that. One reason why I'm just trying to keep the stream going, cause I don't know why. I like socializing, but I don't leave this desk very often. It's like this has been such an intense like hack, like. Gosh, there's a while, like, I felt like I was forgetting how to talk to, like, people because of, all the isolation was intense. And, like, I make it a point to talk to a lot of people, like, living downtown Lake Worth, there's so much happening at every time, but it's calm, it's really chill. And, so I'd volunteer a lot, and the main reason was to talk to people. All people, all ages, like, I like talking to older people, because, I mean, when you live, like, you live, you learn, and I really like learning from others, so I really enjoy that. I'm actually trying to get together like a local meetup of vets, anybody who really likes outdoor stuff and teaching valuable skills. And it's going a little slow because, again, I live in the swamps. It's quite hard to organize things, and but I got good hopes for it, and I know I'll find the right people that will want to come together to do. I think there should be one in every county that's like themed for that, like learning knots, fishing. Sorry, the offense. I grew up on a boat, and like I thought it was totally normal to eat like the stuff that you catch, and because for some reason it's pretty difficult to find local seafood here, because it's all exported, and so I really want to get back. I just want to stay outside, I really do, and like my mind doesn't feel like it's operating smoothly right now at all, and I haven't gone outside once. It's rained all day. And the outdoors here can be quite fun, because the water here in Palm Beach County, the salt water, it's hot here, is it's crystal clear. It's gorgeous, but during the dead of summer we get red tide a lot, algal blooms, and so a few spots will close, but thankfully there's this like super sweet spot, and like, I'm always looking for new spots to check out anyway, because my main goal right now, no wonder I'm not getting anything done. So that's why I'm trying to assemble a community for real, because trying to find an RV right now. Obviously that's very difficult. Everyone's rightfully looking for one, because to have a mobile structure is brilliant, and but I really want to make a mobile shop and shower, because then people could, I don't know, use it as they wish, all while like things are being made in it, and then not stuck in one place, because I could be anywhere. And Snappa too. Snappa already gave us okay, because as far as like future plans for being mobile, because as a programmer he could work anywhere too, and really want to start getting out and about, because so much time has gone by. I don't want to sound like a broken record, because it is so depressing when I think about it, and like not only how much time was lost, but like people, it's just so much businesses. I'm from a small town, like all the businesses are gone, like the local ones, and a few survived, but it's getting to the point, like now that I'm getting back out, like when I look up a spot, like I get teary-eyed. I'm like, oh my god, they made it, they survived, because it was rough. Everybody deserves, like, I don't know, a badge. A badge for weathering the storm, because we got screwed. That's for damn sure. Anyway, I'm gonna get some coffee, and the rain does it to me. I'm sure I feel like a different person right now. Like Twilight. The rain just, I can't feel awake in it. It's so relaxing, but oh my god, I'm about to fall asleep. Yeah. losing Colorado, but I really want to go back. There's a spot called Victor. I don't know if anybody's listening, but anyway, Ether. A spot called Victor, and it's on top of a mountain. It's an old mining town. I wish I'd stop looking at the camera straight in my nose because I just see myself. But and there was, when I went, there was only a few businesses open. It was the dead of winter, which I wasn't fully aware of that. I don't know why. I arrived in suede boots, a sundress, and tights in the dead of winter in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And really nice spot, really affordable rent. I'm not sure about now, but wow, I loved it. But very cold. And like, there's stories that I just like need to gain the courage to tell because they're wild, especially up there. Cause like so much I didn't expect. So, like I don't know if it's appropriate, so maybe I'll hold off on that one. Save that one for KYNTO. This rain. Anyway, I can't listen to the music any longer without wanting to test the new controller, so I think I'm gonna do that. But darn it, Torch. Anyone by chance has a recommendation as far as a tiny little desk torch? I'll use. Quite whatever. Happy Travis! Anyway, guys, please feel free to add me. The Activision ID is in the description. And I think that's it. Nap time after this. The rain is so relaxing, too relaxing. It's very potent stuff.